Hey, it's Shiri. Welcome back to my channel. I missed you. So let's get into today's video. You can only run so far away from yourself and run so fast and so in the opposite direction of who you are, but you'll literally just, no matter what, you'll always end up right back to who you are, right back to the things you ran from, right back to everything that you tried not to be. Because at the end of the day, there are some things about us that make us who we are, that are embedded in our core fiber in our being, that we just cannot escape from. We can't. And why I'm saying this is because before I started my self-development journey, and what kind of was a catalyst for my self-development journey was the fact that I absolutely hated myself. I hated how I looked. I hated how I talked. I hated how I walked. I hated how I felt. I hated my personality. I hated everything about myself and it was a mix of, how I was feeling about myself, but how others made me feel. And it was just like this combination of circumstance and environment and just a whole slew of things that made me feel like, okay, well, obviously who I am is not enough, is not good. So I need to scratch that and just become somebody and just be this best version of myself, get out of basically I wanted to unzip my skin suit and put a new one on and just be like, I'm this new person. But, as you progress, as you continue to do those things in your life that you want to work on, whether they stem from hate or love, whether you go to the gym because you love yourself and love your body and love your spirit and your mind, or because you absolutely hate yourself, you're still working out. You're still doing the thing. Whether you're eating healthy because you want to look a certain way, or because you want to feel a certain way, or because you're working on something, whatever, you're still working out or eating healthy. Whether at the end of the day, you can put on whatever kind of makeup, eyelashes, eyeliner, change it up, change your makeup every single day. At the end of the day, you take it off. It's your face. You can even get plastic surgery to change parts of who you are, but at the end of the day, you are the one who has to see yourself in the mirror every day. You are the one who has to feel comfortable in your skin, even if you got plastic surgery or decided to change something about yourself. Not that that's wrong or anything like that. Everybody could do what they want. But if you got plastic surgery, let's say, because you felt insecure about something because of how other people made you feel, even if you liked that part of yourself, at the end of the day, you still did that thing. So it all just comes back to you. And there's this ancient symbol in history called the Ouroboros, of the snake that eats its own tail. And I don't exactly know the origin of the Ouroboros, but it's kind of rooted in the fact that creation and destruction are one and the same. Everything is cyclical. Everything has a cycle. And, you can change, and it kind of goes back to the fact that you can run away from yourself as much as you want. You can try to change all these things about yourself. You can try to portray a certain lifestyle. You can try to portray whatever you want to be. But at the end of the day, you are who you are. And, whether that be you're trying to fit into a certain crowd to get people to like you, or because you just, whether what you're doing is rooted in love or hate, you're still doing things to change. But at the end of the day, they're rooted in, you're doing the same thing regardless if it's rooted in love or hate. You're still making a change. And you can't really run away from yourself, and the only way that they say the only way out is through, especially when it comes to your feelings and your emotions. And where was I going with this? Sorry, sometimes I go on a little yap session, but recently I've been really into my self-care. I just came back from the gym, but I've really just been into like recently I went to the mall and I went to Bath and Body Works, and they were having sale, and it just reminded me when I was younger and how I loved to collect body sprays from Bath and Body Works. And recently I've been doing fun makeup because I just want to get creative again, and painting my nails again was something I used to do when I was younger, going kind of back home to myself a little bit. And I realized everything that I'm coming home to, creating and putting together fun outfits, posting fun stuff on Instagram, listening to nostalgic fun music I used to love, getting creative with my outfits, my fashion, my beauty, my self-care, doing things I used to love to do when I wasn't being this ambitious person working on every single goal under the sun, just taking time to really create and enjoy and listen to music and embrace. And I had a muffin for the first time in it felt like years, because I was I'm not eating a muffin. This was a week or two ago, and I was you know what, I probably wouldn't do this again, but the fact that I allowed myself to eat this, it was dairy-free, mind you. I think it was a vegan muffin because, I don't eat dairy. But I was yeah, probably wouldn't do this again. But, yeah, that's the stuff, experience. And all of those things that I've been kind of coming home to myself, are things that I ran away from, are things that I tried so hard not to be are things I tried so hard to escape from, because I felt a lot of negative emotion towards when I was younger, and I loved to go shopping, and I loved, perfume and jewelry, and I would wear every ring on every finger, and I just loved going to the mall and doing my hair and makeup and taking time for myself in the morning to do all these things. I was told that I was, I spent too much money, and I was I was told I'm not gonna say who or go into it, but I was made to feel I had a shopping problem, I spent too much, I was self-absorbed, I was selfish, I was egotistical, I was whatever, or X, Y, and Z, because of the things that made me feel alive. And it just goes to show is that the point is that you'll always come home to yourself. If it's truly who you are, and it's truly aligned with your highest self, and it's truly fills up your soul with so much love and passion and gratitude, you'll come home to yourself. I remember I thought for so long, I was I'm just not that person. In high school, I had I was very creative when it came to my outfits. I went through different phases, different fashion styles. I did all kinds of things with my hair and makeup and my outfits. And recently I've been just kind of getting into that creative energy again a little bit. And it's first, I just remember getting rid of so many of my things just in the process of life, being oh, that's not me anymore. I'm not, this style anymore. But you know what? Who you are is always who you are deep inside. Of course, we always evolve and we grow and change in life, but those core things, those fundamental things that are positive for you, that are, whatever, it's you'll come home to yourself. Self-development, no matter what reason you start it from, you'll always end up back at yourself, with yourself. And whether you do something out of hate or love, regardless, you'll end up you'll come back to that emotion, and and it's about finding a way to accept it, move through it with love and gratitude, and just embrace, those feelings, embrace that change, embrace that development. Like, what started because I hated myself turned into something full of so much love and light. And because of all that love and light that I pour into myself, I'm able to pour that into so many other areas of my life and progress and continue to evolve as a person, and integrate those creative parts of myself. Like, it's the best, Like, you can be that person that achieves or does whatever it is that you're doing, or fulfills your purpose, and, does and has, pink nails or whatever it is, like, you know what I mean? Just like, I don't know if this is making any sense, but like, for example, I can be the person who takes my development seriously, who takes my life seriously, who does X, Y, and Z, who's responsible, whatever, who loves Hello Kitty at the same time, and like whatever it is that I want to do, or will do my job wearing sunglasses because it helps me feel more into the vibe. You can do whatever you want in this lifetime, but you will always end up back at yourself. You know what I mean? And even another thing too, like, when I was younger, I wore so much makeup because I had I wore a lot of makeup and tried to cover up my acne and all these things. And then I started, and I loved beauty YouTube, and I got creative, and I learned how to do eyeliner and fun colors. But it also, at the time, because of all of my insecurities, at the time, I felt like it was almost like a mask, like it was like a persona I would put on every morning, because I lacked the confidence to not wear makeup or to embrace myself naturally. And that persona that I put on or curated at the time, like, even to this day, like, when I work or throughout my jobs in life or throughout different areas of my life, like, I'll put on my like little persona, and like, now I'm into it, and now I'm in my zone. When I was a server, I would put my hair in braids. I had a little routine to put my gum in my mouth, like, not chew gum on the job, obviously, but yeah, like, I had my little server persona, and I was like out there being a server. Now I'm in sales. When I do my role, like, sometimes I'll like put on my sunglasses, pretend I'm like Wolf of Wall Street while I make those calls, get the job done. But I'll have fun, and sometimes I'll wear like fun little like outfits while I make calls, because that's that persona, that part of me that loves to be creative and love to have that, like, that'll come out. But I embrace it and I integrate it with my development and who I am. I really hope that this helped somebody, and I hope that, if you are on a self-development journey, that you find yourself, and if you've ever found yourself coming home to yourself, just know that it's like a full circle Ouroboros moment of love and light. And that is the point. It is the point, to evolve to be the best version of yourself, and to take those parts of yourself and integrate them, the light, the dark, all of it. And I hope this really inspired someone, and I hope this helped someone. And I love you so much. You can do anything in this life, and try your best to move through the things that you're doing with love. Love you. Bye.